All right, so we have a crosstab here with revenue and states, and I would like to do a kind of comparison here, add a number of columns, comparable columns. Maybe you'll recall from one of the previous lessons that you can work with a time dimension like this in a dynamic way, picking previous month, and I would like to compare it to the previous month, previous year. And also, I would like to do a comparison between year to previous month, January to June 23, and year to previous month, previous year, January to June 22. So these kind of dynamic criteria, I would need to add that not from up here, but through a user dimension through my crosstab. So I'm going to Tools, User Dimensions, and I'm going to create a new user dimension. Give it a proper name so you might be able to reuse it at a later point by recognizing the name, Dynamic Comparisons. And this use dimension is going to contain 4 members in total. And these members are built up from the sales cube we're using here. And I'm going to locate my time dimension, journal period, the same as the one up there. The hierarchy, because this hierarchy can work with these dynamic options. So here we are. So I would like to compare previous month, the dynamic criteria previous month, this one, to previous month, previous year. So these two members are now comparable members. Let's add a number 3 and 4 as well. And number 3 should be year to previous month, so January to June 2023. And right now, year to previous month, previous year, January to June 2022. So one use dimension, 4 members. Okay, in this, it's called dynamic comparisons. And for this crosstab, when I log into my user dimensions over here, we can see it over here, dynamic comparisons. And to apply to the crosstab, just click it. So now we got these 4 members comparable 2 by 2. And we would need to do a little bit more here. For instance, if you have a look at the column headers up here, previous month, it would be much better if they actually state this one was June 2023 and the other one was June 2022, etc. So we could use or work with this in a dynamic way. It's this option here in properties called dynamic captions. I want to do it for my user dimension called dynamic comparisons. So I'll click there. Now we get this field here saying cell value. I'm going to delete this. Otherwise, I'll still be seeing this text and I don't really want that. So I'm going to delete it. And instead, I'm going to build up my own dynamic caption from my time dimension, the journal period hierarchy. I would like to see a year number. So I click year. It says year first up there. And I would like to see a month name as well. So it says month first, year first, month first. Let's see what happens when I apply. Right, we can see for the first 2 columns, June 23 and June 22, that seems to be okay. But for the next 2 columns, column number 3 and 4, we need to do a little bit extra work. This one is only the first month of my range. January is the first month of my range. So right click, table, and then dynamic captions. Now we can edit it for this single column. Again, get rid of the cell value and build up your dynamic caption. Year first will work fine. We're only looking at a single year anyway. And let's just add a dash here. And then I'm going to add month again. It says month first again, but now by using these 3 small options down here, I can change this one into month last. So the first month of my range and the last month of my range, and it comes up like this, 2023 January to June. And I'm going to do the exact same thing for the last column here. So edit this single dimension dynamic caption, year first, dash month last. There you go. Apply this, and that will be working just fine. So now I got my cross type here with the dynamic use dimension. And if I go here and add dynamic date origin, we try to simulate that we were on a different date. Let's do something in November, 23rd of November, 23. And we can see that the data changes, but also that dynamic captions, of course, now reflects that we're looking at October and January through October. Now, just another small tip here. If you should do another cross tab similar to this with the same dynamic use dimension and the same dynamic captions, I can really recommend that you just do an edit, duplicate, or copy paste. By duplicating this and then going into your define options of your cross tab, you can easily replace your dimension. Instead of the state dimension, we might try to add the the sale cost center right here, sale cost center name. And when I fetch data, we'll see that it's, of course, reusing the dynamic use dimension, but also the dynamic headers up here, especially those. It's nice that you don't have to create those from scratch.